Hey everybody, after recording my shop tour video a month or two ago, I did tease some of what I want to do in this one car garage shop. So this is 20 feet long, about 12 feet wide, and my focus has shifted from general woodworking into more cabinetry. And so I've got some plans, and I just want to talk through them a little bit. So nothing at this end is going to change. So this is all going to stay. There's going to be some good storage. The bookshelf's probably going to become mostly hardware storage, so I'm probably actually going to get some more of those bins. And something that's going to change over here, I'm probably going to build out probably about 13 inches from the wall. And I am going to try to switch to metric, although it is really hard to do that just mentally right now. So anyways, going to build out some storage for sustainers and a few other things, probably some shoe racks, just so that this is a little tidier. Then the miter saw, and where it is right now, it's by no means a station. Got lots of good storage below it, but I'm probably actually going to put the drill press and the disc sander up here. I do use the drill press quite frequently for home improvement type projects and just things around the house, and the disc sander is awesome, and I don't use the miter saw as often anymore, but what I'm hoping to do with this is either with this Bosch Glide, get the gravity rise stand so I can kind of tuck it in a corner and then just pull it out when I need it, or even potentially switch brands and try something else with a little bit better dust collection so that I can use it a little more for some of the cabinetry. Then over here we have sheet goods. So I just got 3 sheets of birch plywood. It's not Baltic birch, so I'm not following in all the other woodworkers and what they do, and some 3/4 inch MDF because I will be building my own extra large MFT or multifunction table. This has changed a little bit more towards some home storage, and I'm going to keep that the way it is because it is nice to be able to store sheet goods underneath. Then over here, garbage cans are still probably going to be in here throughout the winter, and I have mounted the ladders into this part of the wall, and I moved my clamps up here. So I found that this was actually a pretty good way to store them, given that most of them are long. So having them kind of at like shoulder height to be able to grab from here and pull them down is totally fine. Got my sign up there. The big dust collector, I may actually switch to using my shop vac in a separator just to save a little bit of room. And the table saw itself is actually probably going to be tucked in back here. So I don't use the table saw as much anymore, but I do want to keep it. I have the miter sled. I do have the what else do I have for this? I have the dado stack and a few other things, so I do want to keep this. It's also not worth as much use, so if I were to buy a portable one, I'd probably be spending more money than I'd get for this larger one. And this lumber storage tray or rack or cart is actually going to be going away. So this storage is going to be going underneath the MFT that I'm building. And just to show you a little bit more about what I'm doing. So again, about 20 feet wide, or 20 feet long and about 12 feet wide. So we have kind of the workbench, bookshelf, table saw is going to be tucked over there, and I'm going to be able to pull it out. And the DIY MFT and lumber storage is going to be about 1/2 inch shorter than this, so I can use that as an outfeed table, which will be much improved compared to the bench that I have now, because there is kind of that 2.5 inch drop, and it's not nearly as wide. So that's going to work well. The DIY MFT is going to, I'm kind of debating between like 84, 88 inches long, and I have been actually putting plywood out just to see what amount of space do I need here comfortably. So with the drawers open, working with the miter saw, if I do keep it there, I want to make sure that it's not too large, but it is going to be on caster, so I can flip it around and move it around and be able to clean underneath. So again, lots of lumber storage is going to be underneath that, and I'll show a little bit more about my plans for that in a moment. Sheet goods, kind of where I was showing you, yeah, right there is usually kind of what I call seasonal storage, where it's a lot of bikes in the summer, snowblower in the winter, and yeah. So the plans right now, well, I was looking at just the Festool MFT3. It was going to be small with the other stuff in here. It was just going to be far too mismatched. That's why I wanted to do the DIY. The lumber cart doesn't make a lot of sense in here if I can put stuff under here. And then this little cart is probably going to be broken down so I can use some of the parts in some of the other things that I'm building. But the DIY MFT, so this is what I'm looking at right now. These are by no means exact measurements whatsoever. So I am planning to do a torsion box top. So that'll be similar to the Ron Polk workbench. And when I do this build, I'm not going to film the entire build, but I'll probably film a couple components of it, and I'll make sure to link over to Ron's site where you can get plans for kind of his typical MFT or torsion box. And yeah, I'm just going to be using plywood to do the frame. Then there's going to be some open shelves accessible from the ends for extra long pieces, accessible from the sides for smaller pieces. So yeah, again, trying to convert over to millimeters, although you'll see most of my planning actually ends up coming into inches, then I just loosely round. So I'm gonna figure that out. Probably gonna do this in Imperial and just kind of the top of the MFT with the parf holes that I'm gonna be, or the dog holes I'm gonna be drilling using the parf guide system is gonna be metric. So anyways, that's my plan right now. So in the comments below, definitely let me know what you think. So it's definitely hard with a one-car garage shop to make super effective use of the space. I have been pretty happy with the structure and the layout that I've had. This bench just doesn't suit my needs anymore. I need something a lot bigger. I am gonna miss having something just as firm and as strong as this, so I might build kind of just like a tiny version of this, like a quarter of the size, just if I need to do any sort of home improvement projects where I'm pulling out hammers and working on something. So yeah, I'll see. But let me know in the comments below, am I making a big mistake by building this giant multifunction table? It is going to be a sacrificial top, so I can use it with the track saw. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But definitely, again, in the comments below, let me know what you think. And stay tuned for more videos on this transformation.